Are you looking to build some DIY acoustic panels for your home studio but don't know how to start? I can show you how to build, place, and test your setup, all on the cheap. If you're ready to start treating your room, then join me for the next episode of I Don't Have a Band, right now. Welcome to episode 9 of I Don't Have a Band. In this episode, I'm going to bring together the 3 videos I have already produced on DIY acoustic panels and help you plan your project. In essence, this is your starter kit. There are a ton of videos out there on how to make the panels. I've got one of my own. What I feel is lacking though is a bit of planning to ensure your build and install goes smoothly. Before you start cutting that first piece of wood, I recommend doing some planning first. Take a look at your setup. Is it optimal? Are there any tweaks you can make to ensure you've got the best setup going for your space? I know it is not always possible, but your ideal setup means the distance between your monitors and each monitor to your listening position is equal. Yes, the dreaded equilateral triangle. And try to leave a little space behind your desk. Every space will be different, but do your best to optimize your setup. It will make your life so much easier if you fix that first. I recommend recording some sound samples to document the issues you have in your space before you treat the room. Check out my DIY acoustic panel sound test video. It demonstrates how I tested my space before and after my treatment. You can easily run your own test to get a clear picture on the effectiveness of your panels. The link to that video is in the description below. Once your setup is final, you need to determine the problems you're trying to solve. In my case, I have a basement setup. I wanted to treat my room to help improve my mixes. The room is fully finished with a carpeted floor. I have decent gear and my desk and sitting position are properly arranged. The challenge was the room is long and has a painted cinder block wall on one side and drywall on the remaining sides, so I was getting uneven reflections when mixing and clear bouncing around the room. My room is quite large, so I decided to focus on the wall and corners behind my desk, the first early reflection points on either side, and the ceiling immediately above. This was the most logical place to start, and I could add more panels later if needed. So with this pre-planning done, I determined that I would need to build 8 panels. Carefully assess the needs of your room to ensure you are working towards your personal goals. You can then determine your raw material needs accordingly and then get building. You can watch my video on how to build amazing 24-inch by 48-inch DIY acoustic panels for less than $20 each. The link is in this video's description. Once you've got your panels built, you'll need to figure out where to place them. I highly recommend you don't guess. If there are particular issues you're trying to solve, you need to make sure each panel is doing its job. Sound has a mind of its own, so you don't want to waste your effort by putting them in the wrong places. Check out my video on how to place DIY acoustic panels to help you determine where to place yours. It demonstrates how you can take simple measurements to figure out where the sound is traveling within your room. Lastly, once you have installed your panels, I'd highly recommend running another sound test and do a before and after comparison to see if you have achieved your objective. As I demonstrated in my sound test video, there was a significant difference in my space which made me feel that my hard work was worth it. A little planning goes a long way. If you're going to spend time and money to treat your room, you want to make sure you get the best results possible. To summarize, follow these steps before you start building. Assess your needs. Know what your major challenges are and plan to correct those first. Arrange your gear properly. Follow basic sound principles and make the best use of your space. Test. Record some sound samples from your sitting position before and after your treatment to gauge the effectiveness of your panels. Determine placement. Make sure you know exactly where the panels need to go. And don't forget, I've got 3 videos that take you through all of these steps, so you have help all the way through your sound treatment project. I hope this video helps guide you towards a successful build and install. If you have any thoughts or questions, please drop them into the comments and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date. Remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. There are a lot of great musical projects you can do by yourself right from your own home. Thanks for watching.